So I have just finished watching the Legend of Shen. I watched it on the WeTV app, and there are 38 episodes, all around sort of 30 to 40 minutes long. So not a hard watch. You can watch this one through quite quickly because of the shortness of the episode. Now, this was quite an anticipated drama. The leads were both in a show called Princess Agents, which was never finished due to copyright infringement. But people loved them in that role. And the fact that they were reprising romantic leads together in a new show, the fan base were incredibly excited. I do think, though, that kind of didn't help the show, and I'll get into why later on. So as per my last video, I'm going to get into the bits I didn't like about this. The first one was the audio. Now, I have mentioned this before, but in C-dramas generally they overdub. So the actors will play the role, but they'll hire a separate voice actor to do the actual speaking part. Whoever did the voice acting here for the leads, Shen Li's voice acting was crystal clear and absolutely fine. Had no issue with it. However, Ling Genjin was let down just a touch, in my opinion. Throughout the whole show, I couldn't work out whether they were trying to eat the microphone a bit too much, or if they were just mumbling. Um, there was just something off about the audio side of his voice acting. Another thing about this is partly pacing. While the pacing for the whole show in general was okay, there were situations that were a little bit jarring, to say the least. So they tend to mix the serious with the levity, and on occasion, it doesn't quite pull it off. For example, there's one particular scene which is supposed to be really serious, everybody's supposed to be sad, shocked, and then all of a sudden comes on this comedic music as somebody runs on like a complete boob, and so on. And I think that they could have done that in a different way for that particular scene, because it just took away from the feel of the scene. And I get what they were trying to do, I just don't think it worked. One quick thing I want to bring up is they do have some later scenes where a couple of the leading actors play fishermen. And to do this, instead of most dramas where they just kind of make them look dirty, they use some very dark face makeup, which I'm well aware that the Chinese people have varying skin tones. I don't have an issue with that. It was the fact that it was done so badly. It honestly looked like they had boot polish on. In that particular instance, I think their makeup artist should be sacked. It was quite uncomfortable to watch. Another thing I wasn't completely sold on was actually the last episode. Now, I don't know whether the last episode was specifically meant to be a special episode, certainly not how it was made out to be on the app I was using. I've got a new Google Chrome stick thing, so I can now just watch WeTV as if I was watching it on my Amazon Fire Stick, which Fire Stick, you're missing a trick here. Anyway, the last episode was really cute. Don't get me wrong. I thought the episode was cute, but it felt like a special episode and not a last episode. And there was one point where I was like, hang on a minute, aren't we going to get something? And I say something because I don't want to do spoilers. So if you know what I'm talking about, try not to spoil it, but let me know in the comments with I know. So I know if you know what I'm talking about. Let's move on to what I liked about this show. Well, for one, we had Jackie Lee in this. So Jackie Lee is one of our plus size girlies. You don't get them very often in C-dramas. She's not hugely plus size, but for the Chinese entertainment business, she is plus sized. She's an incredibly gifted actress. I really enjoy all of her performances, even her sort of side characters as she's done here. She did get a main role in something, so let me know if you want me to talk about that, because there's a bit of a story behind that one, which is why we haven't seen her in much recently. But it looks like when I look on my drama list, it looks like there's a few that she's in coming up. I didn't check to see whether they were main roles though. But I'm so pleased to see her in something again because I really do enjoy her acting. And as usual, she was really cute here too. And she did a really good job with what she was given. We also have Zhang Li in this as well. She's the lady who played the mother in Love Like the Galaxy. And she's been the motherly role in so many things now. And she just goes from strength to strength. And I really love that for her because she's such a good actress. They've got some good use of CGI in here. Sometimes it can look a little bit dated, if you will. But the fight scenes are superb. I really enjoyed the CGI that they used with the weapons to show that they were fighting as immortals, as gods, and so on and so forth. They had a good use of music to go along with that. So when there was something really incredible being done, they had this really intense music to go with it. And it really got you involved and it got you there. And when you were cheering them on. So all in all, um, I would recommend this show if you're a hopeless romantic. It is a bit of a paint by numbers Zanzibar show, but at the same time, it's worth the watch. I know I've said before that I really like a show that gets me emotional, and I did indeed get emotional. I shed some tears for this one, not as much as some, but I did shed some ugly tears for this show. So it's on my good books. I did enjoy this, and I'd like to see the cast again in something else. But let me know what you think. Leave a comment and like, subscribe, follow, depending on where you're listening to this. And let me know if there are any other C dramas that you would like me to cover that I haven't already. I might have already watched it, in which case I could have a chat about it, or I can put it on my list. Thank you for listening. Until next time, toodles!